Recording in progress.
Let me make sure. Oh, no, it's showing. Okay. Okay, how are you guys doing?
Good. A lot of activity, a lot of activity. I'm actually sore from the activity. Um, I went to my first heels class, like heels dance class. Yeah, so like my hips, my knees, my back, my lower back are in pain. Like I am in pain. But yeah, I'm kind of like seeing what kind of dance it's kind of like my niche, if I'm pronouncing it right. Like I'm trying to see where I fit in. So I've done hip hop, but for some reason it's harder for me to retain it. I guess because of the speed of the choreo. So with the heels now, the pace is a little bit better for me, but still like the physical part of it, like dropping to the floor, dropping to the knees and stuff like that. My body has to get used to it. But other than that, yeah, I'm excited to get back into taking classes.
Yay. Okay, that's good. Absolutely. That's good. Who class was it?
So I actually met this young lady at a dance intensive, sorry. It was what's her name? Tia Rivera. Tia Rivera had a dance intensive, and she paired us up. She basically told us to walk around a room, and whomever person that our spirit took, we basically had to partner with them, and they will become our accountability partner. So the person who I chose, she actually teaches the heels classes. So she had her class yesterday, and I took it for the first time.
Got you.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God, that's good. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, she's from just with heels, period. I mean, that's something that every dancer, female for sure, is going to
Right.
encounter at some point. And you definitely, if you get booked on a job, you more than likely at some point will be dancing in heels.
I was intimidated by the heels, to be honest, because I typically don't wear heels. Like I'm a sneakerhead, so I was a little scared. But to be honest, like the dance heels are actually really comfortable. Like the heel I think is like maybe 3 inches if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, my feet weren't like in pain. My body was more than my feet, which I was surprised. So yeah, I think that's something that I could really do see myself
Good.
doing. Mhm.
That's good. Okay. I love it. Anybody else? Anything happening going on that you want to share, talk about?
I would like to share.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Hi,
we
Sarah.
can finally hop on one of these. I've been so busy the past couple weeks. I've been doing Mitchell Kelly training, heels training, and boy, whew, I just actually came back from his class today. But yeah, I've been busy with that. It feels good because like I'm I see the results. Like they're definitely it's gonna
Yeah.
be worth it. But yeah, I wanted to stay on the dancepreneur thing because I got my LLC, but every time I'm trying to get my EIN, but
Trying to think. And then you went through like getting the EIN. Oh, did you
for the EIN,
that will have the EIN number?
is it's not,
Saying it's not it didn't say anything like we assigned your
I took a
employer.
screenshot of it actually.
Because the EIN you can get literally right away. Like it happens, you're able to get that number right when you apply. Versus when you get the LLC, you have to kind of wait.
Right. And when I did get the LLC, I keep getting stuff in the mail saying, because I got the email of it saying it was approved, and I could see the PDF and stuff on the actual um whatever website I got it on. But I keep getting stuff like in my mail like about like a fee. Like
Yeah, you don't need that.
okay.
That's just the basically once as soon as you register your LLC with the state, it's like these third party companies that I mean they're real, but you don't have to do it. They will make it feel like they are like when you apply for like your business license or stuff like that. When that's not it. It's basically them trying to tell you that, oh, let me send you your certificate of business or
Mhm.
your official documents, whatever.
Okay.
But they're not with the IRS, they are not with the government. They
Okay.
are like just a company that, they do a service for that.
Okay.
But
But I found whenever I kept going through the EIN thing on the IRS website, when I went to the end and clicked submit and waited for it to load to give me my number, it would say we are unable to provide you with the EIN. We apologize for the inconvenience, but based on the information provided, we're unable to provide you with an EIN through the online assistant.
and then what they say, that's it? Like, is there somebody?
It said call this number for assistance.
Okay. Then you might have to talk to somebody.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never seen that or heard that before, but I'm trying to think. The only time I had to talk to somebody was I did have to eventually talk. What was it for though? Oh, yeah, you can actually call somebody and get that because I think I was trying to switch my EIN. It was like I had something for Kennedy, but the name, it was weird. Anyway, I wasn't able to get on the call. So you might have to get on the phone
Okay.
and try that. So hopefully that'll help.
Okay. Okay.
Um, yeah,
Need
but
the
that's good. I
EIN
mean, you know what I'm saying? Just
for
keep going. Don't
right.
stop. Don't let any of
Okay.
this like slow you up or deter you from, oh, just do it later. No, like,
Because I need that number right before I go to the bank to do
thank,
like a
yeah,
business account. So okay.
yeah, you definitely need that number before you go to the bank. And that's weird that they were saying they could apply, they could give it to you, but they could give it to you then, but they couldn't. They had the number, but they couldn't provide it then, or they were saying they couldn't provide a number at all.
They couldn't provide a number at all.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. Let me know once you try talking to
Okay.
somebody.
I'll do it.
Hopefully that'll help. Anybody else, as far as anything else with the business or anything that's happening that you want to share, discuss, talk about, ask questions. Rocky, I see you. You got made the team.
Yes, I did.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was a crazy process, a little different from prior years, and like just also like she cut 2 vets, and a lot of people were really sad, but it kind of reminded me of the conversation that we had before, like in the space, and how like people get really attached and they forget like it's a job. Like this is a job, it's not. And so it really stuck out to me because I was like, this is business. Like if you don't show up and come to work, then you get cut. So, but it was an interesting process for sure.
Yeah. Doesn't matter who you are, how long you've been there. Yeah, if you don't show up to work to do the job, you will not be there. Oh yeah, and them folks don't play, they don't play. It's too much money. Like they are equivalent. I mean, maybe more money, but they are equivalent to corporate when I think about TV and films. Like, yeah, you don't show up. millions, millions is being spent. So that's just the nature of the business, no matter what the industry is. And yeah, it's relative to dance, but absolutely, that's unfortunate, but I'm sure that's gonna wake up everybody. We'll be like, oh yeah, no, they could bet your
Yes.
your spot is not secure.
No, no. And talent keeps getting better every year. And it's also like how we talk about in here as well. Like people don't understand, like you have to show up as far as like your look, what you're wearing,
Yeah.
and like represent, your brand, even though like we're working on for a spot on the team, but it's also like they're looking at like your brand as a person, and they look at like your Instagrams and like
Yeah.
how you represent like yourself too. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was a interesting process.
Yeah, that's like, I mean, that is what it is. But that's great that you already understand that. And then unfortunately, some people, like you said, they just really don't know that, and they've never ever either been taught, or nobody has ever explained to them about the professional aspect of, especially when you're working for somebody else, and it's not about necessarily you, and you dealing with millions of dollars in a company, and protocol, and like it is what it is. So it's unfortunate, but I've seen it happen. I mean, and that happens, and it's even in the industry. When a lot of times dancers are introduced into this space unknowingly. They just don't know the professional world. So it's just going to be a little bit of a like disconnect. So the more you understand, even with us this weekend working with these kids, like explaining to them about being professional, and I don't care that you're 8 years old or 9 years old, like if you get hired or booked for a job to work on a set, they're gonna expect a certain level of professionalism. So the earlier you learn that, the better. And then there are dancers that just never get introduced to that, and they book a tour, from their hometown. They don't know nothing about the industry, and they just out here doing God knows what, you know what I'm saying? Just because that's just how they used to being. So, so yeah, so that's unfortunate, but at least you understand. And then it's gonna be you. It's gonna be up to you, because you're gonna have a leadership quality that they're gonna be looking for. So you're gonna implement some of that leadership within the team. And people see what the example should be and what it is, and you're exemplifying that to a level. That's how everybody gonna fall in line. So yeah, be prepared. So anything else happened this week? Any new news?
Yeah,
Any
sorry.
news?
I'm meal prepping for the week. So if you hear noise in the background, my apologies. It's been busy. But yes, this past weekend, I received an opportunity to work at Spring Bash that they have here in Dallas, Texas. It's like a big Hispanic festival that they have, like Baby Bash and all of them. But I was requested by the manager for the artist to help choreograph and then figure out what she was going to do on stage. It happened exactly like you said. Got the call. I'm a Delta, so our Deltaversary was this past weekend.
Oh, yay. Okay, Sarah.
Well, hello, Sarah.
Yes.
But so we're at an Airbnb, celebrating, and I get a call at 11 o'clock, like, hey, do you have availability tomorrow at 4 for a performance? And we have a dinner at 8. So I was like, well, what time is it? Can you send me more details? So they sent it over and were like, how much do you want? We'll pay it. And so like literally by texting late, I had to stay up, but like at 12:30 it was finally secured. We had a run through that morning at like 11, and I literally had like stuff planned back to back. So I had to move things around and figure it out. We did a run through. They gave us the set list. I give them the ideas. And the artist, she was like 15. She's a young artist, just got signed. So it was really easy to do, and it was really simple. So I was like, bet, we have the dance routines. It was me and another girl. I go at home, I'm practicing in between us doing stuff. We had to be at the next place at 5:30. I get there and he's like, yeah, the whole thing's changed. We're not doing those songs. the backtrack did not work for the stage. And so we were like, are y'all doing any of the songs? He was like, not even one. I said, oh, okay. So he gives us a set list, and thankfully it's kind of like a couple of familiar songs. So she did some covers and then like one personal song. So literally he told us it, and then the black trucks came to pick us up like 3 minutes later, and then they ushered us right on the stage. So we just had to figure it out. But then we got paid. It was great. And he was like, oh my gosh, I love you. He also ended up being from San Antonio. I'm from San Antonio. So he was like, whenever you're home, can I just book you to work with my daughter or come up with choreography, and we work via Skype or Zoom and stuff like that. So I got the number and we got a connection. And then from that, someone else saw us perform and we're like, hey, you guys are really good. We have Togetherland Festival coming up next month here. And they couldn't say too much because the set list, like the performance hasn't been released yet, but they were like, we're looking for some dancers. We are trying to secure a contract, but we want to know if you'd be willing to work with us or audition for the artist. And of course I said yes. So it was crazy that literally an 11 p.m. decision that I was not really too sure about came with all of this. So it definitely happened exactly how you said it's going
to. Yo, that is so, like, as you're talking, I just can replay a situation that's, you know what I'm saying, similar, and everybody, all of y'all are going to experience something close to it, if not the same, but just that whole, like, okay, what, we're not doing nothing, okay, so everything's, like, and being able to still make it happen, as crazy as it sounds, people think dancers, I told you that they just think they were like robots, or what, it's not a big deal that we're not doing anything, that we just rehearse and I'm just supposed to just throw me on stage and I'm gonna just, what I'm saying, of course I'm gonna rise to the occasion and make it look great, and then to them it's gonna be amazing anyway. Maybe to you personally, like, oh my god, I messed up on that part or whatever, it could have been better, whatever, but for them, they're not looking at it like that. They're not that technical, like looking at it in a perspective that is of, I'm trying to judge and critique. They ain't doing all that. They like, oh shit, you killing it, you on stage, you know how to dance, to freestyle, whatever, it was amazing, great, awesome, can you come back again? They think that is not a big deal, and we are like, oh my god, can I please at least know what I'm doing before I get on the stage? Like, can I get a rehearsal? Can I have gone over these steps? But sometimes it is what it is, and like you did, you made it happen, did the best you could under circumstances, and obviously it was great because they clearly wanted you back and make connection, and now you're gonna work with the daughter and choreographing and possibly doing another gig, like, and what I'm saying, we just keep going, and your goal is to just obviously do things and hopefully have enough preparation and rehearsal and all that, for future, but that you can do it under pressure. You clearly made that happen, and you were able to like make adjustments when needed. That's your job, at the end of the day. I'm a professional dancer. That comes with that title, being able to figure it out, make it work, make it happen. I know.
Yeah, it was stressful, but it definitely helped that we had to talk beforehand, because I had already been able to mentally prepare that this type of thing could happen. So when it did happen, it was like, okay, we already had to talk about how this could happen, what to do and what to have in order. So I just like kept my composure, just told him like, okay, that's fine, that's cool. And then I put on my AirPod real quick, and I'm like in the back of the car trying to listen to the song on 2.5 speed and try and hear it out really quickly before they throw us on the stage. So it was kind of cool. But
that was good. That was it. I mean, that'd be like the training. That's the test. That was the job that got you prepared to be able to say, yeah, I've been in this situation before, so I know how to handle it. And obviously, like I said, you pray that's not an all the time thing, but you have done it now, and it's like, okay, next. There's more to that. Like, oh, it gets worse. Yes, it gets worse. But that's good. Congrats on that too. That's great, Jadita. Yeah, like that's how it happens. Okay, anybody else? want to share? Or we're just saying anything you want to share, that any updates or things that may have happened this past week that you want to share with the group?
Oh, I also have another thing. If I forgot to ask, forgot to say.
Mm-hmm.
I had my source had so about CZ or the CZ app or T-Millie app, because I'm in an area where I don't really have a lot of dance classes, but so that's why I travel back and forth. So I ended up learning a dance from there from Derek Schrader, and I wasn't gonna post it. I was gonna post it on I posted on my story, but like he ended up DMing me and was like, "Hey, like I didn't really enjoy watching you. Like
It froze. Your video froze.
just like talking in here and just reminding myself just to go for it, and because you never know what will happen, and you never know like what can be brought out of that. So that was another thing that happened to me this week, and I was like, okay, it's not, just go for it, take a chance. You never know what will happen.
You said he DM'd you?
Yeah.
Because the video went out for a second. He DM'd you and
Oh,
said that he enjoyed watching you?
yeah, he was saying he enjoyed watching me and he would enjoy like talking to me more. And so I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. And it was just on a story. I didn't post it. And it's because I was like, well, I feel like we're all our biggest critics. So I was like, dang, I need to work on this. I need to work on this. So I was like, but I'm just gonna post it. I'm just gonna post it on my story and tag. And I wasn't even gonna tag him because I was like, okay, there's so much I need to work on.
No.
Because my imposter syndrome is like bad, but I was really excited that I just took the chance to just go ahead and do it, because you never
Yes.
know what could happen off of that.
So is that video on your page?
It's not on my page.
Okay.
It's not on my page. I'm gonna redo it. I feel like I was like, I'm gonna redo it.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's looking for
better.
your video on his page, on your page, for sure. But also fine. Like as long as you can reshoot it and do all that. I'm fine with that. But the fact that he's already replied in your story, you know what I'm saying? And if this is somebody that you maybe want to work with, you know what I'm saying? Like post that video, redo it or reshoot it and post it and tag him. Yeah.
Okay. I definitely will.
Yeah.
My goal is to not allow my imposter syndrome to like get in the way. So I'm definitely gonna repost it and put it on my page.
Yeah. No, definitely don't let no imposter syndrome creep in. That's just like, that's for everybody. Don't let, I know that's been like a little word that goes around a lot. Everybody get imposter syndrome, but don't use that as a crutch or even really like an excuse, because it'll be easy like, oh God, I have imposter, I don't want to. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's insecurity, doubt, fear, all that creeping in. Y'all don't have any of that, so let it go. And it doesn't matter if you've never done something before. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't exist. It's all in your mind. Yay. Okay. Ashley, were you about to say something?
Yes, did it look like I was about to speak?
Yes. Oh, because I thought you were about to unmute.
I be trying to do the little tap to speak, but I don't be knowing how to do it. So
It's fine. When it's bigger,
okay.
when it's a big group, it's okay. But when it's a smaller group, this is fine.
Okay. So something that I've been learning, kind of what Rocky said about how we can be our biggest critics, because I record myself dancing, I'm like, that's terrible, like, because I can see it, and people be like, oh no, it's good, but it's like, you're lying to me. Or maybe it's just because I know the standard that I want to be at, and I know it takes work to get there.
Yeah.
But I don't like when people say, no, it's okay. Like, it's just fine knowing who I am. And if people know who I am, you have to know that that's not okay with me. But that can kind of hinder
that growth of like putting yourself out there. Because like what she said, you never really know who's watching you, or who might watch your videos or just whatever. And then also with me, I realized that I've never danced like full out, like just. And so I had to, because I've had one performance before with a local artist, and I was looking back at the videos. I'm just thinking, even when I was in the room and I just had to sit with myself. I'm like, I've never really danced full out before. And so now I'm sitting here with myself like, okay, well, why? Like, what are you afraid of? And I feel like it kind of goes back to childhood when because I used to learn choreography all the time. And then I was showing someone choreography. Well, that someone is in my mom. And she just kind of looked the other way, like didn't say nothing about it. So as a child, it kind of like, it discouraged me a little bit. You know, I just went outside my little soccer ball, but I felt however that made me feel. And so I don't know if it stems from that or just maybe feeling like in the past, like, oh, you're not good enough, or I haven't reached that part of myself that's just really confident in dancing, like while I dance. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, I've never danced full out. Like just with everything in me, it's like I can feel myself holding back when I do dance. And maybe that's another reason why I'm not satisfied, or I feel like I'm not doing good enough because I'm not really giving it my all, you know? And so I've been keeping in mind and doing what you said about putting in your mind like, okay, I need to learn this choreography in 10 minutes, you know, to train myself that way, since I don't really have places to dance either. And so I remember certain music videos I had learned, like Sierra, Beyonce, or like Mindless Behavior. I used to watch their music videos and pick up their choreography or just whatever it was, even if it was like little Disney Channel shows. And so I'm like, okay, because I remember the choreography, and I'm like, okay, maybe I should go back to where I was then, you know, and study that choreography and do it and keep doing it and doing it and doing it again, because I was confident I was doing it then. And since I already know it, I feel like it would be easier for me to like perform it, I guess. And so that was my plan. Going back to those music videos and learning the choreography, so that way I can start posting like me doing choreography and then building myself up to like new choreography. So I've just been having a lot of self-realizations.
Oh, that's good.
So
that's good. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I think sometimes that is necessary too, to even feel like, you know, I'm ready to get better, or I feel like now I can see where I might need more work, or, you know, I'm like, why have I not danced full out? Like all those questions and like revelations that are coming up, I feel like are good. It's not a bad thing. And there's nothing wrong with even feeling like, yeah, like I know to be better. That's fine. But think also like we all can go back 5 years ago, 10 years ago. I mean, y'all are young, so it's hard to say that, but you can go back to a certain point where you were and fast forward, and you're like, ooh, back then, oh my God, I was whatever. I wasn't that great, or I could have done this better. So it's still a growing phase and period. Some people phase and growth is different timing, age-wise, or you know what I'm saying, like how long have you actually been trying to pursue a career, or how long have you when did you actually start training? Some people don't start training until adulthood, because that wasn't anything that they saw themselves doing, so there was no need for me to go in the studio to train. I didn't see myself as a dancer, but I actually have natural talent, and so now I'm like, oh shit, let me start learning, or let me start training. So yeah, you might not feel like you're at the same level, or I don't think that is the best, or this choreography is maybe different for me learning, so maybe I haven't danced like this, whatever. It's all, everybody's gonna be on different journey in the past, but don't feel like that's a bad thing. I think your thing would be whatever you post or stuff you post, it's fine. It's also, but for yourself, it's really not really for anybody else. It's like, I'm going to get better. Watch me grow, actually. I'm gonna take you on the journey with me. You're gonna see, I'm gonna look back a year from now and be like, oh my God, look how much I've grown. A year ago, I was doing this. Now I'm doing this. So, you know, it's also a tracker too. Sometimes when you can't see stuff and you don't know, and then am I growing? Am I getting better? You know, what am I doing? I can go and look at old videos and then look at now and see the difference. You see the growth.
Mhm.
That doesn't mean that that video is terrible or shouldn't be seen or posted. It's like, you know, you can post whatever you feel comfortable posting, but don't let criticism of yourself be the reason why
Mhm.
don't do something. It's like, you know, that
Yeah.
that's and again, it's for you. It's not something that you have to feel like you need validation either. It's really like your personal journey, you know.
Right.
So yeah, and even if it's stuff that you aren't posting, it can still be video content that you just have and you're
Mhm.
able to like see and feel and critique or whatever. And do what with it you want, you know, shit. It's yours.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
have to
don't.
keep in mind that like I've only been dancing consistently and pursuing it for only 7 months. So it's like I have
Girl.
to I know. So it's like I know at times I'm being hard on myself because it hasn't even been a full year yet. It'll be a
Mhm.
year in August. So I know I'll
Yeah.
be posting a reel of the progress and how I've been feeling throughout the whole journey. And I've
Mhm.
done some good things and so since I've been dancing. But from whenever I was like middle school up until now, I wasn't really dancing, but I always watched dance videos. And I think because
Mhm.
I felt, I guess, rejected as a child,
Mhm.
that part of myself, I rejected that part of myself. And then I wasn't never good in school either. So it was like, I thought, okay, if I get my grades up, can I do cheer? Can I do major ed? Can I do this? And it was like, okay, maybe. And then my teachers are like, Ashley, we see you trying. I'm like, yes. I'm like, I'm trying to go on this dance team. But I wasn't never, I never got the chance to do it. It was just, it was, I guess, kept. And then my grades just went back down the drain. I was like, I don't care no more, And
Mhm.
so it was just always like that. And then I just felt kind of stuck. And I'm like, I just started praying instead of like asking. I'm just like, thank you, God, for revealing to me what I'm supposed to be doing, what I'm passionate about. And then I was dancing in the mirror. I was just like, I just had to sit down because I was like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And I started crying. I'm emotional, so I'll be crying. And so ever since then, since last year, I just been dancing.
Yeah.
So,
Well, see,
but
yeah, I mean, your journey is definitely gonna be different. And girl, 7 months, that's good. And you've done a lot. And it's just even within these 8 weeks of the program, experiencing that level of the industry,
mm,
even hearing experiences of stuff that's happening. Like, yeah. And it's one day at a time. That's for everybody. It's literally one day at a time.
mm.
What are like some things that give you guys anxiety when it comes to stuff with this business or with the industry, in itself?
um, really just the vulnerability for me personally. That's the main thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What about the rest of you guys? What are some things that kind of bring you like anxiety or anxiousness?
Being filmed. Being filmed. So yesterday, like I mentioned, was my first time taking the heels class, and it was actually filmed. And usually I shy away from that, but something said just go for it. Just like what's the worst that could happen? So I did it. I'm actually now waiting for the actual clip of me doing the routine. But yeah, that usually freaks me the hell out. And I went for it yesterday. I think I really am trying to go for it now because of the Tia Rivera experience. I'm gonna keep referencing that because that was a major thing for me this year. So
Yeah.
what happened was she did a mock audition in the intensive, and I literally went up to her and I was like, do we have to do this? Like, could I not do this part? And she was like, if you guys don't know her personally or heard her talk, she is like, she gives you truth, and she gives you truth like full force. And she was like, yeah, no, you're going to do it. I'm going to push you through it. And in the audition, the mock audition, I literally froze. These girls were literally doing like splits and flips around me. And I was just like, yeah, no, I literally crawled into my shell and just froze. I stopped dancing. And the panel was like, why did you do that? And for some reason, that moment was like, yeah, I can't ever crawl into my shell during an audition or a filming. So that pushed me to just do the filming part yesterday. So yeah, that's what usually gives me anxiety, and I pushed through yesterday.
That's good. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, you're not alone. Like, even people that seem like to be the most confident, and maybe they're not, they don't have necessarily anxiety, but there is something there, a small little feeling of like, ooh, the butterflies, right? Which is normal. You know, I I don't know how. The only thing that gets through that is just continuing to practice that, like just going through that experience. So I'm glad you overcame that fear or of like from the camp, from the mock audition to class. So now you was able to kind of show up, even whatever, like you did it, you did, and you can do it again. You're gonna need to do it again and again. So it's the again and again part, whether it's a class or audition, just being able to fight through that feeling, no matter what, just showing up, whether it's a camera or not. It's like, unfortunately, y'all are in this era of camera with the class. It's like it's automatic. There's I don't know if classes, rarely are they doing it without a camera. And more so, it's always obviously promotional for the choreographer, for the studio, for whoever's teaching, but also for dancers, just getting the visibility if they aren't working yet or booked on a job that has the visibility for them to be seen. So that's what class is about, is kind of doing. Unfortunately and fortunately, that's what it is, so it's either like, all right, what we doing? Are we gonna just rise to the occasion? We gonna play? What we gonna do? Are we gonna sit on the sidelines? It's like, we not sitting on the sidelines. So we gonna play. We're gonna play, and we gonna, what I'm saying, like she said, she pushed you through. So you did it. And now there'll be something else that's gonna come up, and you're gonna have to go through that again. But at least you can pull from an experience having done it already. It's like, look, I did it before. I can do it again. And I want you to always remember, everybody feels the same way. You're not by yourself. Even the strongest and confident ones, they still are like, they're not going to let the fear overcome them, but absolutely there is a small like, whoo, but you try to psych yourself out. You can tell yourself, like you said, how bad it's not that bad, just think of like worse situations and where would you rather not, what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather be here doing this than doing whatever that is. It could be like a terrible job. It could be, something that you just don't really love or don't like, or something that's like that. It's dreadful thinking about having to do that versus this. Oh, this is a breeze. Let me get out here and dance. I could be doing something worse. I could be dumping garbage in a dumpster, and what I'm saying? Like, just think of like the worst thing possible. And then say, it's not that bad. I can go out here and do this dance. I can do this little video in these heels, just try to minimize it as much as possible so it doesn't feel so much. And that's a way to kind of just, breathe through it, know that, like I said, it ain't gonna last forever and this too shall pass. And, and you apply that mental to everything when you go to the rehearsal, when you're working on a job, because it'll show up again. So, but I'm glad you, what I'm saying, you should be real proud of yourself, because I'm not saying it's easy. It ain't easy, but you did it. You did it. And everybody, trust me, you're not by yourself. I promise you that. Everybody has felt it. Everybody like, oh, Lord, Cameron. Here we go. Woo. Oh, don't have to do a solo, I when I teach, I dread. I be like, oh Lord, Oh my God. And I am old. Do you hear me? I be like, y'all are really about to make me do this dance. Oh my God. You know, so the best of the best go through it too, so you're not alone. y'all, if y'all could tap into your inner child, find him or her, tap into that person, because that person was fearless. They was not thinking about nothing else. They was like, they could probably hit the stage and, you know, didn't care about doing the steps right or wrong, whatever. But that inner child, that person has to show up in times of when you do feel a little bit of anxiety or stress, or, you know, it's time to like perform, and whatever those feelings are, tap into that inner child, because they will show up and slay, and you be like, okay, so it's doable. It's doable. It's a mental thing. It's a mental thing, but that's good. You got through the first part. You know what I'm saying? It's step by step. Proud of you. Yeah. Anybody else? What other stuff like brings you guys anxiety or anxiousness?
For me, in regards to the business, it's actually going up to the bank and talking to these people and explaining my situation. Like, hey, I'm trying to start up a business and blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
That's my anxiety in regards to that. But in regards to dance, I would say freestyle for sure. It gives me anxiety. Like, I've been better as the years have been like gone, but in the beginning, like I would freak out. Like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? But lately I've just been like, hey, whatever happens, just move. Whatever happens, just happens, because it's free. No one can tell you you did it wrong. And I've kind of been learning that with Art Charles' class, honestly. Like, he's
Yeah.
been him freestyling himself, like it's inspiring. And he's always like his class, he's always freestyling and having moments at the end of the combo. So it just kind of actually inspires me to like just go for it. Just go for it. This is the time to do that.
Yeah.
And solos, I would say, like I feel like everyone kind of wants to be that person in class, like, oh, pick like let me get a solo. And then once you get to that point, you're like, oh, I don't want a solo. I don't know what it is. It's like there's no one around me. I think it's like everyone. I can do big crowds for some reason, but when it's a small, intimate, like you are right there.
Yeah.
I can't. I see you, like, but if I'm on stage or something, like I'm good. Like I can be by myself, but in a class, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. But yeah, I would say those are my two main things.
Yeah, those are really great. All three of those. All three of those are really great things to feel anxiousness or anxiety with. For sure with the bank, and like even for myself, it's like when we all step into a space that is not our space, like this ain't my lane. I'm not proficient here. I'm not an expert in banking or business, you know, as far as all of like I can't give you legal terminology and all that kind of stuff. Like I can tell you about business and yada yada based on my experience, but even when it comes to that, I would say when you guys are like having conversation, or you know you're in the process of like going to the bank, and you know you're saying, hey, yeah, I'm starting my business. To be honest, they want to help. I'll say that. They want to really help us when it comes to starting a business, because think about it. It's like they're in a position that they are experts at what they do, and you know what I'm saying, whether it's banking, whether it's, you know, small businesses, whatever, like they want to help you be successful with your business. Obviously, if it's a bank, they, you know what I'm saying, the more successful you are, the more money they make and the more stuff there. So it is a partnership, but it's also a space that we should feel comfortable asking questions, like, because I'll be telling like, okay, look, so what I need to do, you know, he'll be like, okay, you need to do this, and that first, you know, make sure you da. Okay, so who, you know what I'm saying? Like they are inquiring about your business. They want to know everything about it. Even if you don't know, you're like, look, I don't really know everything I want to do with the business. Like,
Right.
what would you suggest? I mean, I am just starting this. This is like new for me. I just want to make sure, you know, blah, blah, blah. And let them give you their advice. So don't feel too anxious about that. I think that should be something, it's a learning space for you to be in. Clearly, when you're even with DancePreneur, just like using this as a learning space to grow. Don't expect to know everything tomorrow. Like it took me a long time to figure out a lot of this stuff, like years and years and years. I'm like, oh, okay, I finally understand. Okay, I got to do that. Like, so it is a process. So don't feel the need to feel rushed to have it all together right now. It's like you're doing the steps necessary to get it together. So that counts and that matters. Don't expect to know every single thing and every single step. Even if some of the stuff you do, you mess up. Like, trust me, you're gonna mess up. You're gonna mess up. You're like, oh my God, I shouldn't have did that. Or, oh, okay, I know not to do that next time. Or, oh, dang, I wish I would have known. Whatever. Like some of the stuff, it might be a miss somewhere, but the overall idea is that you are in the pursuit of the business. You are doing things in movement towards the goal. So you winning right now. So you know what I'm saying? So you get the IN, you go to the bank, talk to these people, help me out, and then develop a relationship with them, because these are essentially people that can help fund your business. They can, like, hey, I need money, I need a loan, I need funding, whatever, and helping me out with that. So those are people that we want to just kind of look at as, they are there to help you. So we don't have to feel necessarily anxiety with that. With the freestyle, I think you're in a great space. Like our trails class is amazing. Whether you know it or not, you're getting better in freestyle just by being there. Just by being there, just by being in that environment, even watching. Like you can learn. Sometimes y'all can learn by watching. You don't always have to do. You don't always have to be freestyling or dancing to learn dance. I can watch people from video and learn just certain styles and tricks and like approaches to movement just by watching. So even more being in that environment, I mean, I can watch that class and be like, oh my God, but actually being in the room and you're actually learning your combo and then y'all do the combo and then y'all watching, yeah, you're getting better. You don't even realize it. And then the solos, like, I don't know, again, tap into the inner child. Fine, you have to psych yourself out. Like you got to psych yourself out, tap into your inner child, and just, it's like the effort. Like I'm talking about, just go. Can't even get too far in my head about it, and this about to be over in 2.5 seconds. It's gonna be over real soon. So just go, don't think about it. Just mentally block out anything that you feel would make you like have any type of fear, and just go for it. Yeah, especially if you know the combos. It's like don't overthink it. Just do what you do. But the more you practice that, again, the more confidence you will get, and then it won't be a thing about steps. Your confidence will be enough. Do a few moves, you can mess up and it won't even matter, because you're like, but I'm confident, so I can play it off and keep going and still killing it. Y'all don't even know I messed up. It's a solo. You don't know I messed up. It's a solo. Okay, great. Yeah, nobody knows but you. That's the good thing about a solo. Shoot, that's better than the group to me. Sometimes you're like, shit, if I mess up, it's just me and I can play it off. And as long, this is the other key. Start strong and finish strong. That's it. Because you can mess up in there, but if you finish strong, and that's when you can tap into the freestyle, like that's just like make them, I don't care about you messing up. It's like, how you gonna make me feel when you finish? Like, how you gonna put seal this up, put a button on it? How you gonna finish it? And that's all that matters. Like, kill them in the end. Don't be stressing about the steps. Keep moving. So those are my tips for those anxiety.
Thank
you. Anybody else? What makes you guys anxious? Those are good. These are all good. Did they touch on all of them? I would say one that might bring anxiety to you would be being in like high pressure, high tense situations where you might be on a set or on the job, or even sometimes in the rehearsal, and it's just like having to deliver on the spot. So for instance, example would be let's say you learn choreography, but whatever, they're not doing it no more. I think that just happened to we're not doing that. So right now, the choreographer might be trying to give step or telling you, they're not even really teaching those steps. They're like, okay, do this, do this. And so sometimes dancers aren't connecting what they're saying because you're prepared to learn dance step. You're prepared to learn like the 8 count. But if I am telling you to do something and it's not comprehending, it's like you're telling me to do something, but you're not doing the step. And they're expecting you to do it. It's like, okay, if I'm telling you I want you to go down to the floor on 2 and then you switch around, leg up, and then we hit, like they're talking out steps and kind of expecting you to like understand what they are trying to say and doing it. That can be a very, high pressure environment. Like if the choreographer is like, oh, can you try this? And they want you to try shit. It's like we just trying stuff out. There is no choreo, so I want you to be prepared for those types of like rooms or rehearsals or jobs where they're telling you to do something. And you might be literally right with the artist. It's like it's happening like right now. It's not even about necessarily dance. That's working with artists, especially male artists, and the choreographer is not about choreography. The choreographer is telling you, hey, I need you to do this on him. Come in and go up his leg, and then you're gonna go swivel around his back. You're gonna like go leg split through, and then you're gonna like they're telling you what to do. They have not given you any steps. So I want you to be able to comprehend that like verbiage into your body so that you can try to start to do the movement of what they're saying, because they see it in their head, but it's not choreographed. They're like, I see what I want you to come in, and then I want you to do this, and I want you to slide up his leg, and I want you to, so they're talking through what they see in their minds. They have not choreographed this. So it's going to be your job to bring that in their head to life so they can see, yeah, exactly, that's what I want. I need you to be magical, right? Some people don't have that. Some people are like, I need you to show me what you want me to do because I don't understand. And that could be a hindrance for you as a dancer if you aren't able to literally articulate what they're saying through your body, like, and actually do the movement. So you are actually creating the movement and the 8 counts just by them telling you something and telling you what they want you to do. So that is a big thing. I definitely have seen dancers struggle a little bit just because I've seen the best dancers, like really great dancers, not understand just being able to articulate movement, not necessarily improv. It's kind of like improv a little, but improv the movement or workshop the movement based on what they are saying. So verbiage wise, like in ballet, if I told you terminology, you can do it because every step has a term. Like, okay, I need you to chasse, pas de bourrée, glissade, jeté. You know exactly what to do when I say that. That's like if a ballerina is given those terms, they know exactly what to do because each of those words has movement. It's like it's a movement, and they piece them all together. In our world, I need you to walk in. I need you to split right, turn over, slide through the legs. I need you to pull up on his left and then swivel to, like, I'm just telling you what to do. And it's going to be your job to make that happen. Like, you literally got to make it happen. So that could be something that could cause anxiety, because if you've never done it before and you're trying to like, oh my God, I don't want to touch the artist, or I want to, you know, I don't want to make them uncomfortable, whatever. Like those are things that you want to think about prior to it coming, or just know you will probably be in a situation where that happens. And, you know, even if you've never done it before, just be ready. Like, oh, okay, I understand. So you want me to like, and then you tell it to me back, like tell it back to me, say, hey, oh wait, so okay, do you want me to like slide through the left, and like, just so that I can, you know how you say something and then I want to make sure you understand what I'm saying by saying it back. You can do the same thing. Like, so wait, so should I slide? What about if I slide right and then do you want me to pull up? Like repeating what they told me just to make sure I'm understanding, I'm comprehending. And then they be like, yeah, I want you to. So we are talking through this, and it's making me figure out what this choreography about to be. Like, it's a great method to practice. Don't, like I told y'all, do not always depend and think that there's going to be choreography, because sometimes it's no steps. It's all in their head, and they just want to piece it together in the space, in the room. Now that everybody's here, all right, let's work on this. Let's workshop this. So sometimes it's like, oh Lord, I'm going to have to help create this. I don't know if I can create. I don't want to help create it. I just want to learn it. You know, you have those type of dancers, and then you have the dancers like, oh shit, yeah, let's go. I want to help. I want to make this magical. I want to be that person. Be the one that's like, you want to be a part of the creative. Sometimes there are dancers that's like, yeah, no, I'm gonna be over here in the corner until y'all figure it out, because I don't like being in the, I don't want to be like that. Versus, yeah, no, I want to be up in here. So what we doing? Let me figure it out. Let me help you out. Let me get, you know what I'm saying? Let me get in the mix. Be that dancer. Be that dancer. Even if it scares you, be that dancer, because you are helping the creative. And then that means the choreographer is like, okay, you understand. You can always be in the room with me. Then perfect. I love it. That like there's a space for you. That is a real job. You become assistant, you become assistant choreographer. You literally are on the job all the time. So that's a great way to just train yourself to learn a little different. You know, there is no choreography. Okay, how are we gonna make this happen? How are we gonna create this masterpiece? I'm going to be a part of the skeleton. I'm going to be a part of the workshop. I'm going to be a muse, you know, for the choreographer to create. Like, I want to be that. So once y'all get one experience like that, you're gonna be like, I see how this works. Okay, great. And then once you know those type of choreographers are like that, like there are some that they just like to, they bring people in. Sometimes they'll bring you in a day or two early. You're coming in early before everybody else. That means you're getting paid before everybody else. So keep that in mind. Workshop people, assistants, and all that. That's where you kind of want to, you know, find those spaces to be in. But yeah, I think that is definitely something I think would bring a little bit of anxiety if you allow it. But now that you kind of hear the other side of it, you just embrace it, where you are assisting and you're engulfed into the creative space. Like, let yourself just be free, be open to try shit out. You know, just you don't know what it is yet, and we're figuring it out. And I want to be a part of that process. What do you need me to do? And then you in there. So that can be anxiety. It can bring anxiety, but don't let it. Any other ones you guys can think of that might bring anxiety or anxiousness to you? Let me think. I mean, similar to that would be like, obviously, changes, you know, just things change a lot. Y'all see. So embracing that, but changes are inevitable. There's no escaping it. It's gonna always be there. And the sooner you kind of like, okay, it's just a part of it. It won't feel like, oh my God, anxiety. They're gonna change the choreo. Jesus, oh my God, it's changing. Oh no, I'm gonna do the left side now. You know, that whole thing. That'll take you out, but don't let it. Silly.
Now that you mentioned that, it popped up in my head. Another thing that I think about with anxiety is like when they have partner moments for like a routine or a show or a set, like it would just come out randomly, like, oh, I'm gonna have you and him do this, and I'm just like, oh, because being in like, especially being in a relationship, it's like you're trying to have the boundary. I feel like if I wasn't in a relationship, I would be fine. But since I'm trying to respect my boyfriend and stuff sometimes, and then like if it comes down to like having to do something to the artist too, like what Taylor does with Chris Brown, I don't, my boyfriend would not be okay with that. So it's like trying to balance your relationship as well with your dance life with that stuff, like partner stuff. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I don't want to you, but I know it's just for the show and stuff. Yeah.
I know I think, you know, everybody definitely has their personal preferences when it comes to stuff like that. When it's the dance part, I will say, you know, again, like you're not alone in regard to how you feel. Obviously, dancers be in relationships, married, kid, you know what I'm saying? Stuff be happening, and they are understanding it's their job also, as they're just playing a role. So, you know, you can go really deep into it mentally thinking like, okay, look, I'm just acting. Every time I did a dance or show, I was not Kiki. I forgot my name. I had like a stage name. So I could literally go into another character and be that person freely without reservations or thinking about, you know, oh my God, I'm in a relationship or anything like that. Okay, two things. You don't want to let your relationship dictate also as far as like what you're doing. And again, it is a job. Yes, there will be things you be like, hey, well, I ain't doing that. But, and then there's some stuff you're like, okay, that's fine. I can do that. That's nothing. It doesn't, you know, so that's just a conversation, and just making sure you and your partner have an understanding. There may be jobs that will make it feel like you're crossing the line. Some of the stuff is acting. Some of the stuff is unfortunate. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Y'all watch TV, y'all see these folks, you know what I'm saying? These things, they be having whole sex. Now, you'll be surprised. I'm going in a whole different direction with that, but I just want to kind of give you perspective. Like, I've been on set for scenes that had that was a sex scene, and it was so not sexy. It was so very like super choreographed, very, you know, like, oh my, it is not going to look like it looks like what we're shooting. When you see the final, it's not going to feel like that. But when you're shooting it, it's so very awkward-ish with how it's filmed, and then how it's like, it's literally choreographed. See, like they have to choreograph what they're actually doing. So it ain't, anytime y'all see sex scenes, something like that, it ain't like they just going at it and they just doing whatever. No, they have an intimacy coach that is on set just like a choreographer, and they are saying exactly, hey, okay, first beat, we do grab each other, boom. Second beat, I go to the right, you go to the left, boom. Third beat, I go, you know what I'm saying? Like, I bring my hand down to your boot. But, you know, it's like, it is choreographed, okay? It's crazy. And it's so, it's just, it doesn't, how y'all see it on the final, it doesn't shoot like that. So anyway, so go back. So now when you are rehearsing, let's say you are rehearsing, you know, certain dance moments or a video per se that might be a little like, oh, it's a little risque. Even some of that, it's still acting. Like, I've definitely done videos that I was definitely acting. You know what I'm saying? I had no connection with none of y'all like that, but I've been hired to play a role that what I'm doing, I feel comfortable in. I never did anything that I felt like, yeah, this is too much. I can't do this. I never felt that. And anytime you do feel that, you have the right to not do it. Like, I'll pass. Some people was like, yeah, nah, I ain't doing none of that. I got a man. Some people was like, yeah, I got a girl. Like, I ain't gonna be able to, whatever. And that's cool too. You know what I'm saying? So it's just your personal preference. So don't feel any type of way about it. You know, you are a very attractive girl. You're going to be working with male artists, male rappers, male, R&B singers. And it's not, I mean, Neo is a great example of that. He's an incredible artist, and so some of his records require a level of sexy matureness that is involved with him, with movement, with choreo, with interaction with him. So there may be jobs that you have to say, am I okay about doing this? It's not the goal is that you do the job, and then once you're done, it's over. So there's nothing that lingers on after this. There's no meeting at the hotel room. And that's when it starts to get into a whole other situation. That's when it goes to the next level, and it doesn't have to. You're like, no, I'm showing up, do my work, do my job, and then that's it. There's nothing else here. I don't have the need or desire. Everybody's not like that though. There are girls that want to do more than what they did with the artists. They're like, oh no, I want more. I want to keep going with this, So it's different when you're like, no, I'm not crossing the line. I'm making sure, look, whatever was been given, if I can talk to the choreographer or say, hey, I don't really feel comfortable doing that. Is there anything else I can kind of like, whatever, like just being able to have those kind of conversations, is nothing wrong with that. But just also understand you are in a professional, work environment. Y'all, trust me, I have done, and to have to choreograph some of these scenes from like Step Up, and it's like, oh, they gotta, he's on the couch, and like I've had to choreograph with a male some of these scenes, and I ain't even close to trying to get with you, you know what I'm saying? But we have to teach what the dancer and the actor is actually going to have to do. So, it's our job to make that come to life. So, it's a two-way. It's not just you. You don't feel like you're alone in that, because you have actors that got whole families. These artists, they got whole families, and they got to put on the show, because somebody that's paying tickets to come see them thinks in their mind that that's their man or their woman. And so they have to sell that. It's like all of that sells, all of the allure of, oh my God, I'm available to these people, or seeing them, imagining they are you on stage when you're with the artist. Like, oh my gosh, like it's a whole fantasy. It is a whole fantasy. And as soon as you get off stage, wake up. The dream is we're awake, and we back to reality. Go back to your regular life with your family, boyfriend, husband, girlfriend, wife, and yeah, and then I do my job again, whenever the next show is. It's literally an on-off thing. So if you can switch it on and off, it's easy. It's when people don't know how to switch it off. And now we are dabbling in spaces that we don't need to be in. So now we have taken the professionalism of it, and now we're going into personal land, and we don't ever want to go into personal land. So yeah, that there's nothing wrong with what you said either. People feel the same. So, and you can just do it per opportunity. As you do more jobs, you'll feel what feels good, what doesn't. There's nothing wrong with turning down work to be like, yeah, if it don't feel right, no, don't do it. Don't do it. If you feel like, yeah, I don't know, this ain't it. Or you feel like, oh, this is actually way less stress than I thought it would be. It's like, oh my God, this is a breeze. This is fun. It's nothing bad or terrible. So yeah, you'll know. Go ahead, Jadita.
Honestly, mine is one of the things you said earlier, like when a choreographer or whoever is just giving you direction and like, okay, I want you to execute. Okay, take this, you know, that third, eighth count that we did at this part, reverse it. Do all of that in reverse and then add this. My brain is like, and like immediately the hands start sweating. I get nervous. I'm like, and especially if I see people picking up on it and I know I'm still stuck on the first word he said, it's not comprehending. It makes me a little anxious. And I've been trying to like do little like drills at home or figure
Yeah.
out ways to become more comfortable. But just like having to, because it's so different than just coming up with something on the spot, because then you can just go with your body. But it's like, I'm giving you a definite direction. I want you to do this, on that, on that. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
about to play music. Let me see you do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I felt that. Literally felt it as you said it. Yeah, let me see you do it. Oh,
And it's
okay.
like, no, not even a little. Like, can we run it back? Can you say
Hey,
it like
man.
4 times? Can I show you to see if that's really what it's supposed to be? But it's like, no, and action. Like,
Yeah.
it makes me so nervous. The anxiety goes through the roof, and immediately, like, it throws off my whole train of thought. And I can feel like everything in me just gets rattled. And I know I need to work on that, because that's not something that I should let me rattle
Yeah.
that hard. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to work on it, but that's probably one of my biggest things. Like, if it's freestyling, if it's doing anything, I kind of do what you say. I put on a different persona. So like,
Yeah.
ask me to freestyle. Okay, well, that's Christina that messed up the freestyle on the floor. Like,
Yeah.
that wasn't me. That wasn't Jay. Or like, I
Yeah.
can like switch the persona. But if you're asking me to do something, I have to be present. I have to be here. Some people are getting it, some are not. And you're trying to see like how quickly I can think on my feet and do what you ask me and retain it. I be folding just a little bit. Okay, a little
Yeah.
bit, but I'm working on it.
Yeah, no, you'll be surprised. Once y'all get out of that space, I just remember it's just been so many times I've done stuff that I'm like, I can't believe I'm doing this. Like, this is crazy. You know, as it's happening, it from me, like when I was auditioning, when I booked Christina Aguilera, they used to like have these like we'll go to her house, and you know, she obviously loved dancers. So it was a great social space to just hang out, all of the dancers, choreographer, we just chilling, and we used to dance, like we were dancing. And in my mind, I was always like auditioning. I'm like, yeah, I'm just trying to stay on the gig. I'm trying to stay. So they were like, okay, go. Everybody would like dance one at a time, whatever. And similar to not class, but it was the same essence of like just going for it. You know what I'm saying? Like just dancing, just showing who I am and having confidence. And not that I'm trying to like kill the freestyle. You know, it wasn't that type of environment. It was more of like just being free and not feeling, oh my God, people are watching me, or like, oh, you know, I'm dancing by myself. It wasn't none of that. It's like, nah, shit. Christina Aguilera right here. Let's wait. I want her to know. And we probably dancing to her. No, it wasn't dancing to her songs. It would be like some rap song that they got playing, or some song that, you know, it was popular at the time. And I'm like, I'm not about to be sitting on the couch. No, I gotta, yeah, I am a dancer. So yeah, I'm about to dance. So doing stuff that you probably normally wouldn't do, just to see, I mean, I'm not telling y'all to go out here and freestyle in the mall, but I'm telling you to go do something that you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. Like how y'all do TikTok and challenges and y'all be anywhere. I think that takes courage. You know, right now, everybody has literally let that go. Y'all be in the middle of the street. Y'all will be out, you know, in the middle of a parking lot. We in the mall. We at the skating rink. There's a sense of fearlessness that we have all tapped into by setting up tripods and ring lights and cameras and phones, and don't give a shit about nobody behind you, and y'all about to be just dancing. Like people be watching and nobody cares, and we all are guilty of it. Like we all have done it. So even tapping into that type of, you know, space, I think will help. You know, just kind of feeling like, yeah, we just having fun. That's literally what it is. We're all having fun. Keeping it light. Y'all got grown folks out here with tripods Setting up cameras. Oh my God, no, but that's pretty much where we are, which is good. And I was asking about the anxiety thing because I know that exists, and there isn't something that's not something that I don't think that will just go away. But when you find yourself feeling that in certain situations, one, tap into lightheartedness somehow, find that childlike, and then also just making whatever it is fun, and then feeling like tapping into confidence. That's like really key. Feeling confident even when you don't feel confident. Like really tricking yourself and saying, I can do this, I got this, it's fine. It's not that deep, it's not that serious. I'm gonna be okay. It could feel serious from, oh my God, I gotta, do a split over his shoulder and I gotta flip over. Oh my God, versus that could be really feel serious, or you can take that and be like, this ain't no big deal. Let me go ahead and try this out and figure it out and keep it moving. Yeah. Think about some of your favorite actors, some scenes that they've done, and then just imagine in your mind, like, these are people that have like whole families and kids, and they play actors and roles that are super, some of them really extreme, like it's a lot. You do a lot. Your role is heavy, and you got a whole wife and kid. You got a whole husband and son. And they're like, yep, I sure do. And I'm still going to do this role. And it's just a role. That's it. So we as dancers can do the same thing when you get hired for a job. This is just a role I'm playing. I come on stage, I act, I dance, I do my thing. When I'm done, I'm back to me and my personal life. That's it. And that thing will be over before you know it, and you'll be on to another job. So I would kind of take some of the things that we talked about tonight, and just kind of apply it. It was a mix of a few things, especially with the entrepreneurship side, but kind of apply some of those like tactics to how you want to go about when it comes to some of these opportunities, just getting mentally ready for some of the jobs. And the biggest takeaway I would say is, like, we try not to put too much stress and extra anxiety on you. Life is hard already, so we don't need to add. Let's try to keep this space for you always being a space that is, it's not, I don't want to say light, because it's going to be a lot, but light-hearted, meaning, at the core of it, we love to dance and we enjoy it, and it's our passion, and it brings us happiness. And whether even if you're working hard, it's like it's hard work, but it still brings you a sense of joy and happiness. So when I'm dancing, whether I'm freestyling, whether I'm working with an artist, whether I'm whatever, like finding that childlike energy, when I feel the pressure coming, or I feel like, oh, it's about to be a lot, and then just pushing through, breathing through that, and knowing it ain't gonna last forever, but also just having the confidence. So being confident in that, just like you're gonna be confident in your business. I don't care if you don't know everything right now, doesn't matter. Being confident in the business that is on the way, small steps in the beginning as we go through each step, each week, whatever you're doing, little bit by little bit, to get closer to whatever the goal is, making sure we're staying on track, even if we, get off a little bit, because, there will be times something come up, you're like, oh my God, it took me off 2 weeks because, this, and this happened. So staying on track, and just making sure that, I'm saying, you're doing everything you can, but tap into the childlike energy. That would be my biggest takeaway from tonight, for sure. Cool. Okay. Well, for those of you that are still in the program, obviously, you'll be back tomorrow night, and then everybody else, I'll see you next Sunday. But we do want to, I think next Sunday, I'm follow up with our trail, but I feel like we're about to do the session because he just talked about his vending machines. He just did something, and I was like, wait, you did what? We need to know about that. something he did that was dope that we need more information on. So I'm gonna see if next Sunday is gonna be the session that we do start talking about vending machines, just getting a little bit of information from different aspects of entrepreneurship, different little side hustles that can bring in income for you while doing all the other things that you're doing. I want to start kind of bringing that and introducing that into the collective, because there's so many other spaces, obviously outside of dance, but in the entrepreneur space that we need to kind of just get some information on. And these are things that this isn't something like you got to be super passionate about. You know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to creating income, it's not about me being passionate about all the other things that I'm doing. Nah, what's something that I feel like, oh shit, I can see that being a thing that I could do. Okay, what do I need to do? Tell me what I need to do. Is that something that's going to bring passive income? Like, I just want to learn about it, and start and seeing if that's something that I could implement into one of the streams that I want to create. Because, you're supposed to have 7. And 7 streams is not going to be all passion. 7 of the streams won't be all passion driven streams of income. Something's going to be like, yo, it is what it is. It's going to bring me money in. Okay, cool. What I need to do, I'm set it up. All right, got it. Done. Okay, next. So we're gonna have our trail do that. I'm going to tentatively say that would be the next Sunday session, but we'll confirm this week for sure. And I'll resend. I know I sent emails out. I feel like I sent it to y'all. I'm not sure, but just a reminder for the collective. This is what we'll be doing weekly, and I want to make sure if you haven't sent over like what your LLC is, because I want to do like a directory. So we are all starting to like, and even in the app, like we're all starting to talk about the businesses. And also this is going to help you like really reinforce what it is that we're doing and like putting action in motion. If like, hey, my business is named this, okay, I'm doing this next, I got to work on this. And like we're doing it and we're putting it in motion. I think that's important. So we'll pick back up on Sunday, and you guys have an amazing rest of your night and week, and I'll see some of y'all tomorrow night.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good night.
Good night.